I'm Crafty Kate and I run a small crochet business. On this channel we talk all things yarn and crochet. Welcome to May's episode of the Chaos Crochet Challenge, where my boyfriend has written out challenges for me, one a month for the entire year, and I open them in an envelope and I don't know what they are. So we opened this one at the end of the last video, so I will let you know what that is in just a second. I did really fast want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Munbyn. They sent me a printer you can see back there that I have been using and loving, and recently I needed to make some new stickers for my packages. I usually put a sticker on the inside to seal my tissue paper, and then I put one on the outside. So let's go see how that went, and then we'll jump into the video. So here we are, I have the Munbyn printer set up, and as you can see I found a little panda sticker to go on the side because, like I said in the last video, the color of this printer was called Panda, so I thought that was fitting. Got a cute little panda on there. So we're going to connect this to my laptop real fast using Bluetooth, and then we will print some stickers. I was able to quickly and easily connect my laptop to the printer with Bluetooth, no cords required. You just simply download the driver for the printer, which they give you all the information in the little startup book. Once you have the driver downloaded, it connects automatically, and then you can open the editor. It comes with 1,000 editable templates that you can use, or you can use your own photos. I use a couple of stickers that I made in Canva and was able to easily drop them over and print them perfectly. I use these stickers on my packages, one for the outside and one for the inside on the tissue paper, so I use lots and lots of these. So it's always nice to be able to print them quickly and easily when I run out. The Munbyn app also supports voice recognition and has a free QR code service, so you can print QR codes so your customers can simply scan and find whatever you link to. The process of setting up this printer is so simple whether you're using your phone or a laptop computer. Okay, another huge thank you to Munbyn for the awesome printer. I absolutely love it so far, and I'm using it almost every day. So go check it out down in the description. If you are looking for any kind of printer for your business, I will have everything linked down there. So now let's jump into the video. So I have my little paper here with my challenge on it. So it says, make a pattern that you have never made before that you already have. So basically a pattern from my stash. So he made it very vague, so I was able to pick whatever I wanted. So for this one, I may have made it a little more difficult than I needed to, but I was really excited to make this pattern a long time ago and I never did. So I wanted to use this challenge to push me to finally make this pattern. So I'm going to make Hugo the Humpback Whale from Humble Child Co. And I will have that linked down in the description as well if you want to check out the pattern. I've had it for a really long time. I bought the bundle with the big Hugo and the baby Hugo, and I know all kinds of people that have made the baby one and the big one, and they all turn out gorgeous. So I'm really excited to do this. I'm going to make the big one. And I have picked out colors. I'm not going to use this one as a yarn stash busting project just because this is a big project and I want to use yarn that's not going to hurt my hands. So I picked Elise Voluto for this one, and I actually got a big order of it. I needed to stock up on some colors and then ordered some stuff specifically for this whale. So we have a brick of yarn from Hobby Shoppy, Elise Voluto. There might be some other stuff in here, I can't remember. So we're going to open this up and then I will lay everything out over there and show you exactly the colors I'm planning. Okay, so here is everything that I ordered. You can tell I just kind of stocked up on some neutral colors, some purple, green, and then I got 2 Himalayan Dolphin Baby to try out, different colors. So we'll let that puff up for a little bit, and then I'll lay out all the colors for the whale. Okay, so here are all the colors laid out. There are 20 stripes across the belly, so I have 10 colors to go each direction, and then the dark gray at the top will be the main color of the whale. So we have the dark gray, and then we got blues, greens, and purples. I think he is going to be so cute. Okay, I just read through the pattern to get everything all figured out. She does recommend a 7mm and an 8mm hook. So like usual, I don't go that big with this yarn, so I'm going to use my 6mm for most of it. And then I did finally order a 7mm. This is just a cheap one from Amazon that we're going to try, so we'll use that for the parts that she says to use a bigger hook. And then there is, the way you make the belly, I guess there's a hidden row or a hidden layer, sort of. So she says to make that in a different color. It's not supposed to show, but just in case it does, I wanted it to be a color that kind of goes with everything. So I picked this cream color. It's the Winter White from Premier Basics Chenille. I have a ton of this, and as you guys know, I'm trying to use this up. So we're going to use that for the hidden underbelly layer, and if it peeks through, I think cream will look good with all of those colors and kind of give the belly a little bit of a lighter look. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't show too much. So that's the plan there. We will stash bust a little bit, so that's nice. It looks like we start with the belly, so we're going to be using all the fun colors first along with this cream. It does definitely involve some things I've never done before, so I'm going to have to watch some videos and figure it out, and I'll try to talk you guys through it as I do it, but we'll just see how it goes. So I'm going to read and probably get started, and then once I have things figured out, I'll check in, and then we'll do some time lapse of me making that because it's going to be colorful and fun. So let's get going. Okay, so this is what I have so far. I've done 2 of the blue colors. It's looking good. I think you are going to be able to see the cream just a little bit. She says to use looser tension, so I'm trying not to be too loose, but loose enough. Who knows? I have figured out the hidden single crochet stitch. She has a fantastic video for figuring that out. And one thing I have noticed, I was trying to do color changes. She says to fasten off at the end of each row if you're doing all the color changes, but I was still trying to pull the new color through the previous stitch, if that makes sense. Like I do a regular color change, but it actually works better to finish it off completely and just tie the little knot at the end of the color and then start the next color with the slip knot on your hook. That is working better. So my first couple are a little messy at the end here, but I'm hoping that will be okay. And then the rest have like the clean start there like that. So I'm going to keep doing that. It is a lot of counting to make sure I have the stitch count right in each row, but it's looking cool so far. I can't wait to see it all together. So I'm going to keep chipping away at this. I probably won't hyperlapse too much more because I don't want to bore you guys with the same thing over and over, but I'll put in little clips of adding the new colors, and then I'll show you when I have it all done. Okay, I finished the first half of the belly. So there's what we have. I think when we add the other side, it will kind of pinch this dark blue in, so that's not so visible, but the rest looks fantastic, and it doesn't show through nearly as much as I was expecting. So it's looking really good. Loving the color combination I picked. So from here, we just go off of this side, the other side of the chain that we left open, and make the rest of it. So it will just be a mirror image of this. So I think I will do that off camera and come back when I have that done. But I think when you put it all together, these ends just end up on the inside, so it's not a big deal. And like I said, starting each row with a slip knot on your hook instead of trying to do a color change is much easier and makes them much cleaner. The first couple I kind of messed up, but we learned. So it's looking awesome. I am so excited for this guy. So I will show you when I have the full belly piece done. Okay, I just finished the belly and it looks fantastic. I am so excited to get this guy done. So here it is. Looks so neat. It wants to curl up a little bit, so it's hard to hold, but there's all the fun colors. It is so pretty. It looks like a blanket or something. One of those, like, I don't know what, woven blankets. So cool. So I think for the rest of today, the plan will be to get as many pieces done as we can, and then we'll put it all together tomorrow. So I'm going to work on the front fins and then the tail, and then we have to make the whole top of the body piece. So I'm going to try to whip those out, and we will see how it goes. But I think this was the biggest time consumer of the project just because of all the color changes. You literally change colors every row, and then you have the cream on the back. So I used quite a bit of cream and then all the color changes, but it is so worth it. Look how cool that looks. So I think I'm going to make the tail next because it's really simple and made like regular amigurumi, and then I'm going to work on the fins. I need to decide if I want to do the edges of the fins in some fun colors with color changes. I have some examples from Instagram that show the color changes and it looks really pretty, so I might do that to match the belly. But yeah, I'm gonna work on the tail and I'll show you that when it's done, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we're losing the light today, but I wanted to do one more quick update. I haven't gotten a ton done because it was a beautiful day. It was actually 80 degrees here in Wyoming today, and so we took the dogs out and took them swimming, and we had a blast out in the sun. So I didn't get a ton done, but I do have a quick update before it gets totally dark. I finished the tail pieces, so they are huge. And you sew them together like that and then attach them to the body. So these are done. And then I thought it was interesting. I think I did the math and I'm planning on 3 skeins of Elise Veludo for this whale in the main color. And this was a full skein before I started the tail. So just the tail almost used 1 full skein. And then we still have the front fins, the back fin, and then the body of the whale. So several skeins will be used, but that's exciting. So tail is on the way. I'm not going to sew these together yet. I'm going to save all the sewing for tomorrow, but the rest of the night, the plan will be to make as many pieces as I can, and then I will check in the morning, and then we'll hopefully put this guy together. I'm super excited to get him done. Hello, it is the next day and I'm still working on the whale. I got quite a bit done last night, so I'll give you a little update. So we have the 2 tail fin pieces like I showed you, and then I did the front fins. We have 2 of the body color and then 2 of the underside color. I chose the light purple just because I wanted to bring a little more of that into it. So those will be put together. And then I started the big body piece. And it's all just a big flat piece. It feels a little bit like making a blanket or something, a very small one. But it is going to be quite large. So I think I'm to a point where I'm doing a bunch of repeating rounds. So I'm going to get a YouTube video started and I'm just gonna get to work on this, try to get this done. I really want to finish this guy today. I think we can do it if we lock in and get it done. I'm going to do the body piece and then we'll probably put these together. I think that's the next step. And then I think we just sew it all together. So we do need to pick eyes. So once I get this body piece done, I'll hold it with the belly so we can see all the colors, and then we'll pick some eyes out. But yeah, it's going well. I'm super excited. This yarn is really soft. It's looking really good. So here we go. I just did several rows on the body and I wanted to update you really fast. So this is how big the body is. And Like I said, I almost used a full skein with just these tail fins, and then we have these 2 front fins. I just ran out of my second skein of yarn, so 2 skeins will make that much. So I'm going to start on our 3rd skein, and I think, I didn't write it down, but when I did my math, I think I came up with 3 skeins. So I have more just in case, but I'm thinking we will not quite finish this one, but they're going a lot faster than I thought they would, so we will see. Okay, I'm to the point of adding eyes, so I'm going to try to show you guys what they look like with the colors. I have several different sizes. The pattern says 24 millimeter. This is a 30 millimeter, so I like that one a lot. Here's another 30 millimeter, pretty blue glitter. Here's another one. This is another 30 millimeter, kind of a light blue green glitter. I really like that one. This one is a 25 millimeter. You do like a little eyelid type thing around the eye, so I'm afraid the 25 millimeters will be a little bit too covered up, but that is a really pretty color. It's got a lot going on in there. And then we have this one. This is another 25 millimeter. It is blue, but it almost looks gray against the body. That one's pretty, but it might blend in a little bit too much. Okay, I don't have them snapped down yet, but I think I've decided on these ones. I think that looks really pretty with the colors, the blues and greens. There's a little bit of purple in there. I really like it. So these are the 30 millimeters from What's Up Cupcake. These ones are called, they're from her Bloom collection. So I don't know if she still has them, but they are gorgeous. So I'm very excited. Looks so pretty. I am so happy with the colors I chose for this. So I think I'm going to snap these down and hope they're not too big. But you do like a little eyelid around the whole thing, so it will make them look a little bit smaller. So I think they should be fine. We're going to go with it. Okay, I finished the body piece. It is huge. This is definitely going to be a big whale. So we have this much yarn left, not a ton, but we don't have a ton left to do with it. So then next we need to put the fins together. So we'll do that. And then the step is to pin or stitch mark these 2 pieces together. It looks like they're the perfect length, so that's a good sign. But yes, we'll pin it all together. There's a whole bunch of instructions about where to pin what, and then you crochet around the whole thing, and then there's some tail rounds to extend it out a little bit to attach the tail fin. So next we will make the little front fins. We'll put those together, and then we'll sew these together. I think you're supposed to attach them kind of like this. So those are the next steps. So I will keep you posted. I'm working on putting my first fin together, and I wanted to do color changes along the fun textured edge that she has. So this is what I have. So my plan to clean up those ends is to pull them all inside the fin, and then I'm going to turn it inside out and tie knots in all of them. That way they're all tucked in easy but still knotted tightly, I think is the best way to do it. So that is what I'm going to attempt to do, and then I will show you what it looks like when I have it all cleaned up. That wasn't too hard at all, and I love the way it looks. So here's our first little fin. So we got the light purple on the bottom and then the fun color changes. And I just did, she has it broken down into lines of stitches, so I just did each line from the pattern in a different color. And I think it turned out perfect. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side, the same color pattern. And then we're going to start pinning this body together. I did already sew this together, so that's attached. So just the other fin, and then we are doing the big body. I'm a little bit nervous. We have both fins done, so we are now on to pinning the body together. So I think I might take it over to the table over there with a bunch of locking stitch markers. So I'll try to set you up so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm also going to have to read the pattern a bunch too, so it might be a little chaotic, but I'll do my best to show you what's going on. Okay, I have everything pinned together and ready to go. It's hard to show you, but I have stitch markers going around the edges and it's all lining up pretty well, I think. I have read this part of the pattern several times where you start actually crocheting around the whale, and she said at the end of the body not to fasten off, so I have the yarn attached here. It seems like there's like an extra paragraph that almost doesn't need to be there, and it's kind of confusing the way it's worded. So I'm just going to kind of skip that paragraph and do what it says, where you just start where you left off and go around the whale, because that makes sense to me. But reading this paragraph, I don't know if it's like a summary of what is happening next or what, but it's just the way it's worded is messing me up. So I'm just going to ignore it and continue on. But it looks like you just start where you left off and go all the way around the whale to the other side of the tail and then make the in the round tail part. So that's what I'm going to do, and I hope it goes smooth. So, and based on the way she says to hold it, that makes sense. So I think we're good. I'm going to do it and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I just got through the first fin attachment and it is not easy, I will tell you that, but it looks pretty good. It actually looks really good, but you're going through the fin, two sides of it, the belly and the body all at once. So it's a lot to hold on to and pinch together, but as long as you keep your tension tight, which she mentions in the pattern, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to continue around the nose and over to the other fin. It's looking like a whale. I just got around to where I attached the second fin and it looks fantastic. So we're looking good all the way around. She doesn't really mention how to do it in the pattern, but basically anywhere you can use the cream part of the belly, you do. And then you really just grab the ends of each of the colored rows. So for most of them, you do the end of a colored row, a cream stitch, the end of a colored row, a cream stitch, and then down here where it hits, can't find it, hits the cream all in a line, you use all the cream stitches, and then it really helps as you go to reach in and pull your ends tight. You can see this light purple one looks a little messy, but you can reach in and kind of pull it down inside there. I found it. You pull it in and then it kind of cleans it up a little bit. So that's what we're looking like so far. He's massive. We're to the point of starting to stuff, so I'm going to do that, and then we just have this one little edge here to connect, and then we start the tail. So it's moving right along. Everything seems to be lining up well. I think you really need to pin it well when she explains which rows go with what. With the stitch markers, I think that helped a lot. You can see my fins lined up just about perfect. Everything is looking fantastic. He is looking like a whale. I love my color choices. Those eyes. So I'm going to start stuffing him, and then we will do this last little section. Okay, we've made some good progress. Here's where we are. He's looking like a whale. I started the rounds of the tail. There's the belly. I'm not gonna lie, stuffing this guy was difficult. It feels like wrestling an awkwardly shaped pillow that you can't get your hand in because it gets so small down here. So it was very awkward to stuff, but I think I got it pretty full and filled out. The shaping is absolutely amazing. She does such a fantastic job with the shaping of everything, so you don't have to worry about it too much. You just stuff it the best you can. So it is looking absolutely fantastic. He's almost too big to fit on the screen, but I am going to take a break, and I probably won't finish it tonight, but we will see how it goes, and I will check in when I work on it again. Good morning. It is the next day again, day 3 of working on this whale. As I showed you yesterday, we have it up to a good point. We have it all stuffed. Everything's attached and looking good. And then we've started the tail, so the rest of the tail is worked in the round, and I'm pretty sure we just kind of decrease to a little point, and then we will sew on our tail fins. So I'm going to work on that and stuff the rest as I go. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, I got a little bit frustrated stuffing it because I crocheted all the way to the bottom and then tried to stuff it, and my hand won't fit through here, and you really need to be able to get in there to situate the stuffing. So when you're making it, stop a little bit up and stuff up here before you go all the way to the bottom. That will help you out a lot, because this thing does take a lot of stuffing, and you really want to get it in the crevices to get the shaping right, because the shaping of the actual crochet is fantastic, but you've got to stuff it to make it right. But everything is looking so good. I am so impressed, and he is huge. So I am going to work on the little tail, and then we'll attach the tail fins, and then I think we have a little dorsal fin to surface crochet, and then the little eyelids around each eye, and then I think we are just about done. So very excited. He is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, I just finished all the crocheting on the tail part, so this is what we have. It just ends in like a little nub, and then this part you attach those tails in the middle right to the end, and then you just sew up the sides, connecting even with where your little tail starts there. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be really awkward, so I'll try to video it, but you may not see that video. It's going to be very awkward wrestling this whale. That wasn't too bad. I got the tail all attached. I think it's pretty even. It's hard to tell exactly, but looks like a whale tail. And it lines up with those two blue. So I think that's it. She has pretty good pictures for that part. Looks good. So now we're just going to add the little dorsal fin and then the eyelids, and then I'll double check, but I think we're done. We're almost there. I have officially finished Hugo, so here we are. So the little eyelids around the eyes, I don't know if you call those eyelids or what, but I did have to do a couple more stitches because I think the eyes I used were quite a bit bigger than what the pattern suggested, just because I went with the kawaii pupil with the hand-painted glitter, so they're a little bit bigger. So I just added a couple stitches around the eyes, but I think it looks just fine. As far as yarn usage, I planned for 3 skeins of the body color, and this is what I have left, so that was very accurate for me. We have just this little bit left, so that was perfect. And then all of the other colors, I started with a full new skein, and I didn't run out of any of them. Even the purple, but the purple I just did a little there, and then this. So you might use a bit more if you did one of these as the underside. She has it all spelled out in her pattern very well. This pattern was fantastic. There's lots of great details. There's a video telling you how to do this fun stitch for the belly. There was just that one part that confused me when connecting the body to the belly, and after doing it, I do think it is just what I said, where she was just kind of summarizing what you were going to do next. She wasn't telling you to do anything. I think it just confused me because the first word is join, so I was planning on joining my yarn somewhere and I couldn't figure it out. So that was the only little paragraph that confused me, but really as you make it, it all makes sense. Fantastic pattern. Definitely a big project. I did not time myself, but it took me several hours over 3 days. So definitely a beast of a project, but so worth it. Look at this belly and this sweet face. Cool tail. I love him so much. So like I said, I used my 6mm hook for almost all of it. She had to use a bigger hook for the tail, which I did. I used my 7 to make it a little bit drapier and floppy because you don't stuff the tail. So I did use the 7 on that. Everything else I used my 6, and it turned out just perfect. I think that's all I have to say about the pattern. So we'll wait until Nick gets up for the day, and then I'll get him in here so he can see it, give us his opinion, and then we'll go from there. We have Nick here to get his reaction to the whale. Obviously he can already see it, but here it is.
That's cool. Really cool. Good job. What pattern is this one?
This is Hugo the Humpback whale from The same person that made Anchor the octopus, the big octopus that I made.
Oh, nice. It's pretty awesome. That's very creative. I like the details.
Yeah, he's cool. You like the colors I picked?
Good colors. Cool. Nice job.
Challenge completed. And then we have some big news. I don't know if you noticed earlier on in the video, the little something new on my finger. We are engaged. So super exciting. So for making it all the way to the end of the video, let's put an engagement ring down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.